All right, hey, welcome to Play It Painted Live. We are now live, so awesome. we had Phil pop in, and he then dropped out. So I don't know if he's having internet connections, or maybe it's on my end, and maybe we're not live, and I don't know it. But either way, I'm gonna talk to the camera as if we are in fact streaming. So tonight's episode is brought to you by Anima Tactics. Again, yes. Tonight we're working on, this is a commission piece named Lilith. She is a leader for the Empire organization. And just look at the model. Lots of energy in this model. The client, aka Yu Yao, asked me to go with blue hair and kind of a gray, I guess we're going to go with like a gray goldish outfit here. So what I'm working on right now is kind of the fine detail. I usually try to do that before I hit the on-air button because most of that is, like for example, I'm also working on a Strega here from church. Most of that happens, like I have to pull the miniature real close to me in order to work on it. So it doesn't make for very good video. But anyway, most of that usually happens before I hit on air, and that's why. But, you know, I figured we have a whole viewer that has been patiently waiting around for us to hit on air. So let's go ahead and do that. We have a few viewers now, so welcome to Play It Painted Live. Just dotting in Astrega's other eye here. Yeah, I wish I had the kind of camera set up to show you how I come in and dot the eyes during the live feed, but I don't know. I mean, I think even if I did have a super good camera for this, I don't know that you would be able to see that. Let's see if I can get Phil back on the show here. So let's go ahead. Okay, he's still working on the issue. Alright, so anyway, I guess we will just continue to paint while we're waiting for that. If you guys are painting or you need to be painting, go ahead and pop in the comments what you are painting or what you wish you were painting right now. Here's a, this sounds like a joke here from Fizzwit. Why is a raven like a writing desk? And I'm completely stumped by that. I don't know. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Well, actually, let me answer that with a question. I don't understand the idea of a writing desk. Weren't most desks designed originally so that someone can write on them? I don't I don't quite get the distinction between a desk and a writing desk. Now I do understand that there are like drawing desks and drafting desks that are, you know, that have a bit of an angle to them, but I am completely stumped by your riddle, sir. So you may, when you so choose, indulge us with the answer. That would be fantastic. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue to work on Lilith here. Alright, so eyeball is in. She only has the one eyeball, but the difficult part is she has a very characteristic face. It's got a smirk to it. She's got a little bit of a smirk, but the problem is that the arm here is like covering the face. So it's going to be very difficult to try to capture the kind of detail they have on this sculpt. I probably should have tried to paint her and then attach the arm later, but I'm being a little bit lazy, folks, and just painting her like this. The other thing I would note here is I don't have her on her base because the client, aka Yu Yao, has asked me not to base the model. So I'm just painting her on the cork here. All right, so here we go. So obviously it's Jill from Canada. It's a Lewis Carroll riddle without a definite answer. So the riddle, okay. Well, we could make something up. I don't know. I guess is it one of those things that tells you a bit about the person based on how they answer it. You know, if they go crazy and decide to stab you in the face, or if they make up some answer and insist that they're right, does that make them bad people? I don't know. Maybe. By the way, I'm going to load YouTube comments here because I know some people are commenting through YouTube. No comments yet. Damn it. You have proven me wrong. Anyway, so for those of you who are not familiar with my little skin formula here and my painting formula, I go eyes first because that's the tricky part. Then I work on skin, and my base, I have two, for Caucasian skin, I have two basic formulas here. I'm starting with, this is my darker skin formula because I don't know why, I just feel like it. I'm going to go a little bit lighter, but I'm going to start with the base coat here of Game Color Extra Opaque Heavy Skin Tone. This is my hides all coat here. Typically, I do this for male flesh and for darker Caucasian flesh. Why am I doing it here? Probably because she's got that smirk on her face. And when you have extra fine detail like that, one of the coolest, most subtle ways to catch that is actually start with a deep skin tone and just let that skin tone kind of sit there in the little crevices of or wrinkles of the face. So like if this were an elderly person, a model of an elderly person, I would have taken the same approach. Now, let's see. How do I just chat in regular chat instead of the questions? Well, what you can do is I can send you an invite to the show, and what you do is you hop on so that you're like physically on the panel, but then your camera isn't on, and then you're just sitting in chat. The only downside to that is that the other viewers can't actually see what you're posting. So, and we have a couple of viewers that like to do that. So if you want to do that, that's fine. I can do that. If not, you can post here, or you can follow the YouTube link and post on YouTube also. Because the Q&A is weird. We've had some people, because when you're doing Google Plus live, sometimes there are people that are on Google Plus just kind of that browse for just live streams, and they hop on live streams just to interact with whatever show is in progress. You see a lot of that in like RPG. So you'll see RPG communities that use Hangouts quite a bit. And it's actually really good use for Google Hangouts. And so you'll have kind of audience participation, if you will, on Google Hangouts. And sometimes when I'm really bored and I can't watch anything on YouTube, or I'm still waiting on a certain Helldorado podcast, then I will put it on a Google Plus live stream and watch that live stream. And sometimes they're crazy. Sometimes it's like religious debate. Sometimes it's two guys that just got out of jail and they're talking about their experiences in jail. So it's it's a mixed bag, and you can see some pretty disturbing stuff. You can also see some really cool stuff. Like I walked into one that was a couple of guys working on a comic book together, and they were collaborating with ideas on their Google Plus, and they had actually fans of their comic book that were kind of throwing ideas their way. Now, granted, these fans had horrible ideas about what to do with the comic book, but it was still kind of cool to watch. And welcome back, Phil. What do you think? What's up, man?
Not much. When I stepped outside, the fiance turned on some streaming entertainment on the TV, which automatically shut down my bandwidth.
Oh,
So
like like she turned on the Roku or something like that.
yeah, we got a USB wireless thing, and she turned on Hulu, and bloop, that just shut everything down. So I figured if I went in there and begged and pleaded, she might switch it off in favor of a DVD or Blu-ray and let me come out here and
Well,
troubleshoot the problems.
that was awful nice of her.
Well, she's an awful nice woman.
Yeah, she is. She is really nice and really forgiving.
And she makes awesome cookies.
And she does make and she can bake too. So if I were you, Phil, I'm just saying I would marry that woman. I'm just saying, put a ring on it.
Do that in a couple months.
That was the joke. Awesome. Yeah. Speaking of which, how's that planning going for you? You guys are just about ready to go? Any last second nervousness or heart attacks or anything like that?
Well, there's always that, but no, for the most part, I'm keeping it together, and I'm not freaking out. But no, it's mostly a question of how broke do I want to be for the next 20 years.
There you go.
Yeah, as long as I think of it in those terms, I'm good.
That is, in fact, the question. A very good question. Okay, another question from Jill here. What Heldorado podcast do you speak of? I don't know what you're talking about. Also, thank you and your wife, your amazing wife, for cookie spread. Okay, Phil, I don't know. Have you ever tried this? Because Lizzie picked this up the other night when we were at Trader Joe's.
Mm-hmm.
It's called, I guess, cookie butter spread.
Oh my.
Right? Okay, and it looks like a jar of peanut butter. It looks exactly like peanut butter. And it spreads like peanut butter and for all intents and purposes behaves just like peanut butter until you put it in your mouth, and then it's just like cookie. It's amazing. No, seriously, it's like if you were to take a cookie and infuse it into some substance that had the same viscosity of peanut butter, that's what you get. And it's like, cookie butter, I guess, and that's why they termed it cookie butter.
That sounds amazing.
It's ridiculous. We tried it, and I was like, I felt like I had somehow cheated death, or it's like I broke some innate property of life that you could only taste something so delicious, but this had like cheated it somehow, beat the system. But yeah. So anyway, I was talking to the folks that are putting together the Heldorado podcast, which you're watching right now. So thanks for watching, guys. And I was talking to them about this cookie butter spread, and they're like, "Oh my God, we don't have Trader Joe's up here. We'll never have this." And so I am sending them a jar of cookie butter spread.
Well, that's because you're a nice guy.
So that they can partake of the amazing. Well, I mean, the plan is to get them hooked on it, and then I can move up to Canada and be like a cookie butter spread like dealer of some sort, like sell it out of the back of my van. I don't know if the exchange rate with the Canadian dollar will hold up, but
Well, you're just gonna have to trade for real maple syrup.
I might have to trade for maple syrup or like a spot on the Olympic curling team. Kind of one of my dreams too, to be on the curling team. So
it does seem like fun, more fun than it should.
I can watch a lot of curling. I can't. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like for Winter Olympics, and a lot of people talk shit about the Winter Olympics. Like, oh, it's not worth watching. There's nothing good on. I can watch the shit out of some curling, and it's usually like I'm at a dentist office or I'm at the doctor's office, and they've got curling on, and like I get totally into it. And then the doctor calls me in, and I'm pissed.
Well, no, dude, I got you beat. I was in Paris at an Irish bar run by Englishmen watching the Americans versus the Canadians at curling. I mean, that was entertainment.
You've broken some form of international law.
I think so. That's probably why we're not going back to France anytime soon. But no, it's what was funny was we were making fun of it at first, and then the next night we came back because the format in bars around the world is different. You go to some places you order drinks at the bar, you take them back to your table. Other places it's only table service. In France, it tended to be a little different than what we were used to. So it was nice to find this Irish bar that was very much like an American bar. You just walk up, sit there, drink until you pass out.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're sitting there making fun of this curling, and these English guys are watching us. The next night we come back and we're actually getting into it. And one of them says, "You hypocrites! I knew you were getting into it." It's just going off on us, and fun. But when the Americans got knocked out, we had to start rooting for the Brits, and when they got knocked out, we were all pissed at the Canadians. So it was okay.
Nah. Yeah. So you've become an actual curling fan.
Oh, absolutely.
I
was watching specials on this stuff.
Yeah, I am kind of a curling fan. I mean, it puts a lot of important life skills to work. Notably your ability to broom, your ability to push objects across ice, and so it's a very cool. I really do like curling. I love watching it, and I don't know. Maybe one day, if my wife didn't hate ice so much, maybe one day I would be able to try curling. Gonna dream big here. Those are my Olympic dreams. I don't need to be on the basketball dream team or luge or anything like that. But curling, hell yeah, I will totally be down for. Maybe they'll have a Filipino curling team, and I could be on Team Philippines because I don't think I could qualify to be like on Team USA or anything like that. So that might be kind of cool. Also, I think we are. Yep, we lost Phil. We have lost Phil again. Dun dun dun. No. So I can send you syrup for tradesies. That would be awesome, but not necessary at this time. I may hit you up for that because I do like one of my favorite things to eat is fried chicken and waffles. So I might hit you up for that. 2 comments. Here, Tin Man, what's up, guys? What's up, Tin Man? How's it going? And then we got Canvas hopping in to say what's up. What's up, Canvas? Long time no see, man. Other than those hilarious things that you send me on chat. What's up, guys? Thanks for hopping in the show. Hope you guys are painting something or trying to get something done. So yeah. So I'm sure Phil will be back with some curling story here pretty soon, and then we'll talk. I also wanted to give you guys, since you guys watched the live show, all 7 of you, that's right, 7 people. Since you guys watched the live show, I thought I would give you guys a little bit of a spoiler here regarding my upcoming 1,000 subscriber contest. So I haven't hit 1,000 subs yet. I'm set to do it, and maybe none of them are real subs. Maybe they're all spam bots. I don't care. It's going to hit that arbitrary number that some people celebrate. And I know that for me, it's not so much about the 1,000 subs, because frankly, I don't think there are 1,000 people that are watching my channel. But anyway, I am going to hit that number, and in celebration of hitting some arbitrary number, I am going to have a contest, because why not? Everybody else is doing a contest. Viv announced his 9,000 sub contest, which is actually a pretty good contest. Like, if you're going to do a YouTube contest, do his, don't do mine. Although I think mine is pretty sick. So, since I got your guys like at least half your attention right now, and we're talking about 1,000 sub contest. Here's what it is, and it is kind of related to the Helldorado podcast and some stuff that else is going on here. So here's what it is, guys. 1,000 subs is cool, but it doesn't really mean that much to me as long as people are enjoying what they watch on this channel. I know it's not 1,000 viewers, it's 1,000 subs. It's like 100,000 views, which is cool. But whatever. Anyway, here's the deal. A lot of us, myself included here, have been complaining about the content on YouTube lately, notably the lack of content regarding miniature wargaming and our hobby in general. Okay, I'm one of the most vocal people about that, and you know, and here's I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Here's my frustration. Okay, so when I am looking for information on a game that I'm interested in, and I type and I go into YouTube and I type up, you know, find this game for me, all these channels pop up, and inevitably, whether or not it's related to the game that I'm looking for, you know, it's like, okay, this is Space Marines. I wasn't looking for Space Marines, and this is some guy fucking eating pizza. I don't need to see that. And this is, you know, these are these two guys that want to make money off me, and I don't want to see that. And they want me to sign up for a vault and all this other crap. And okay. So my point is, in order for me to actually try to find information on a game, or actually try to find something that I'm interested in, my hobby, my game, I have to weed through pages of garbage to get there. Pages of failed entertainers or whatever. You know what? I don't want to sound negative. I'm sorry. I have to weed through pages of stuff to try to find something informative and from what I consider to be a hobbyist, a person that's sharing things because they actually enjoy their hobby and they want to share that information with me. Okay? This is a very hard thing to do on YouTube, and it's very frustrating for some of us. So anyway, here is my contest. Okay? And hopefully this is an easy contest, but the contest is, I need your guys' help to help me subscribe to more channels or more podcasts or more things that appeal directly to me, more things that I feel are actually directly gamer related, and a little bit less pizzazz and special effects. And you know, and Tin Man and I talked about this, and I know he discussed it with my brother too. The gaming elite or the status quo or whatever. We're looking for guys like, and I'll give you perfect examples of some channels that I absolutely love, and I want to find more channels like this. Okay, so for example, Solve and Abuse UK. So Dread Lund, one of my favorite channels of all time. And what does Dread do? He just shares his fucking hobby. That's what he does. This is what I do. I'm not going to charge you for anything. I don't want you to join my club. I don't care if you sub or not. This is what I do. This is what I love, and I'm putting it out here so that you can enjoy it too. That is exactly what I'm looking for. More channels like that. The fewer subs, the better. I mean, and I don't mean that in like some weird arbitrary prejudice, but let's be honest here. Other than, say, Viv, who is amazing, and you should always watch his channel, but other than Viv, a lot of those bigger channels tend to be a little light on the content, because and it's by design, because you know they're doing a lot of other things to try to get more views and more subs, and a lot of times, you know, your bare bones, your nuts and bolts hobby stuff isn't necessarily high view material, right? I'm just being real with it. So anyway, so I'm looking for these channels, these diamonds in the rough that have some really cool stuff to share. Have some, you know, just have some really, you know, passionate people that are doing their hobby, that want to learn games, that want to show games, and I want to watch their channels, and I think you guys want to watch their channels too. If you guys are actually watching my channel, you probably are watching some other channels that I don't know about, and this is what I really want to see. So anyway, here's the contest. Okay, so if you want to enter the contest, all you have to do and you guys that are watching live tonight can enter tonight, even though I haven't started the contest officially. Like I said, I'm leaking it. If you want to enter the contest, the only thing you guys have to do is you can leave a comment on this video giving me the name of a YouTube channel that you would recommend to me. Okay, and we'll go over my personal biases and all that stuff too, because that will help. That will help you select whatever channel you want to recommend to me. Now, if I like that channel, I'm going to sub to that channel. And if I sub to that channel, or if I'm already sub to that channel and I like that channel, I will just count you. I will count you and the person that you recommend as an entry. Okay, and the best. And so I'm going to sub to these channels because that's kind of the point. I'm being selfish here. I want to watch more stuff. If I find that is suddenly my favorite channel to watch, you're going to win the contest. You and the channel that you recommended will win the contest. Okay, so you can plug your own channel, but it's good to plug your channel and plug another channel that you feel is just not getting enough views, or is really, what I like to say is really legitimate hobby gamer stuff. Okay, am I making sense? I hope I am. I hope I am making sense. But that's what I'm looking for. I really want to watch more channels. I don't care about the I don't care about the number of subs. I want to see more channels. I want to learn more about some of these games that don't get a lot of play on YouTube. Because you want to know why? Because it's really just like one or two games that have like 30,000 views apiece. And sometimes I want to learn about something like, say, Ronin or Pulp City, or even the Judge Dredd game. I want to see some of those other games, Fistful of Kung Fu. I want to see stuff like that, because if I wanted to watch 40K or something like that, I can pick a channel at random, basically, and watch that. And I'm not saying those are bad channels. I'm just saying that there's a lot of them, and they get lots of views. And part of part of what I want to do is kind of expand my horizons watching YouTube, not see who won the last Golden Demon or Crystal Brush or anything like that. I want to see something that I'm not normally going to have access to at my local gaming store. So, very long-winded explanation here, but that's what I'm looking for. So that's the contest, you guys. I haven't even hit 1,000 subs yet, but that's what we'll be looking for. Let's see. Okay, so Viv is on. Seems to be the thing to say. What's up, man? See, Viv. So Viv has this cool. He has a cool contest going. I'm gonna actually enter your contest, Viv. I'm gonna get some pictures together, and I'll put together something for you. But I hope you heard my contest. So my contest is, I need to watch more YouTube. But I don't want to watch garbage channel. I don't want to watch worthless garbage channels. I want to watch good channels that aren't just trying to like entertain me or do bits or anything like that. I want to watch something that's like, let's say this guy loves Bushido, and this guy paints the shit out of Bushido, and then he puts up a battle report, and he only has 20 views on his video. To me, that's a shame, and I want to give him another view. I want to give him another sub, and that's what we're talking about tonight. Oh, Canvas, damn it! All right, okay, so that's my contest. I'm gonna bring on. I'm going to shoot out a couple of links here if people want to hop on the feed, and we can talk about some like cool channels that they're watching, or maybe cool games, and we'll just kind of take it from there. So let's see if I can figure out how to do this again. All right, so we'll see who hops on. But anyways, I think it's a cool competition because there are some really great channels out on YouTube. Really great channels. I'll give you another example. And Viv talked about this on his video. Athalith, who's Tristan. His channel is super good. It's super good. Have you watched his series on muskets and tomahawks, and the number of projects that this guy takes on, and it's insane to me that this guy does not have 5,000 subs. It's insane to me. A lot of the other stuff that I watch, like a lot of Legion of Gamza stuff I watch. Love their stuff. British Legion is one of my favorite channels to watch. Nick is hilarious. I just love watching his stuff, and he's been a viewer of this channel too. But to me, it's insane that this guy doesn't have. I don't feel he gets the views and the subs that he really deserves. It's just a great channel. And there's lots of channels like that. But how are you going to find channels like that when, when I said, when you type in something that you're looking for, and all you get is like 2 to 3 pages of like bad shit to weed through. It's insane to me.
Sorry about that.
Hey, what's up?
G'day, mate.
What's going on, man?
I still had YouTube on, so it was being all echoey and shitty.
Yeah. So what are you painting?
Just some terrain, just standard barricades and so forth.
Cool. Yeah, I went through my terrain kit for the cons that we just did. So, did you hear my contest, or at least?
Yeah. I was listening to it the whole time. Sorry, you were on a bit of a roll there. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh yeah, don't even sweat it. It's fine. I'm basically done with my little my rant here. But yeah,
I mean, because I like to try and like if I'm for some reason am much more likely to sub to a guy who's only got between 20 to 100 subs than I am to someone who's got 3,000 or 4,000. I don't know why, but I guess it's that you sort of not so much that he's just talking to you, but it just seems more like I don't want to say realistic, but they tend to be a little bit more down to earth anyway.
Yeah, and maybe that guy, at least when he's putting his content up, it's more about his joy of sharing it, rather than like trying to pander to a bunch of subs.
Yeah, I reckon so. Well, I mean, obviously not always the case. I mean, you got the guys who've been around for ages, like the 40k Orcs and Nataku, who they're pretty centered on the fact that they just want to do their hobby and just talk about that as well. But, I mean, they've been around for quite a while though, so they're gonna obviously have more subs.
Right. Yeah, and I watch those channels too for that same reason. I mean, there's just stuff that I like to watch. I'm not saying that there are right channels to watch and wrong channels to watch. It's just my personal preference.
Oh, for sure, definitely. So what's the prize going to be, man? What's my loot out of all of this if I win?
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out what I could do here. What I was looking at is, I'm like, well, I could just go like gift card route, but I don't know. It seems kind of boring. So that's the part that I'm stuck on, to be honest with you. I got to figure out something. Maybe I can come up with something that's a little harder to find. Some miniatures that might be out of production or difficult to get a hold of, something like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I think it's like, it might be a fun competition because you're gonna be looking through probably your own subs and maybe even like browsing around, and you probably will end up subbing to a bunch of other channels too that you thought, okay, these are really cool, and then I'm gonna submit this one for the contest. That's the hope, anyway. And the next question is cookie butter. We're still talking about cookie butter, which is amazing. Let's reload the YouTube comments here. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Viv says, channels. Dread, good man. It's great to meet him and share a beer or many last year. Yep, I agree, definitely worth subbing me. Canvas01, good channel. If you want another Aussie cunt blabbering at you, okay. Seriously though, my best advice, use the all activity tab under your subs. I found great channels that entertain me via that page. Yeah, it's a good, and I do actually, people whose judgment that I tend to rely on more and more on YouTube, I watch their activity and see who they sub to. That will help me find other subs. But, you know, I figured this might be a cool contest that we can do as well to help us find a few more subs. So, should be pretty cool. Okay, and then Tin Man says, I recommend Marth, Fright, Orsis, Zoctaver, Bleeped Up, and Veil of Darkness. Okay, I actually am sub to all of those. Well, no, I don't think I'm sub to Orsis, Zoctaver. So I'll check him out.
Yeah, he's fucking good, dude. He hasn't done a video for quite a while, but he's like a really good painter, and like his conversions and sculpting and all kinds of crazy stuff that guy's doing. He's really good.
Cool. Okay, I'll definitely check out that channel and I'll sub to that. Thank you for the. I'm sorry.
He definitely needs to get off his ass and do a video.
That's another problem too. Is like some of the coolest, most down to earth people. A lot of times, we have like real life we get caught up in that and we can't do a video for a while. We come back, but you know what? That's cool. That's the reason why you have. Why you keep trying to get more subs is to kind of keep that rotation going, so that by the time somebody comes back and they put up more vids, then you're ready to go. So awesome. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for the recommendations there, Tin Man. I will definitely look into those, and I will consider you entered in the competition.
Actually, all those ones he said are pretty good. Bleeped Up's really good as well. I like his stuff.
Yeah, I like his format. I've been watching Lee's stuff. I think Lee has mentioned to my brother that he is interested in hopping on this feed. I don't know what time it would be over in the UK. It might be like 5 a.m. or something like that for him. But hey, if he's wanting to get up, I'm totally cool with that. Love to have him on.
Yeah, it's probably quite early for him at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You should send Viv a link. If he's not too much of a weak pussy, he might jump on right now.
You know what? I will do that. Let's see. Where did he go? Oh, I just saw him. Where did he go? Okay, so I'll shoot him a link.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with friggin' Google Plus, man. Like, actually sending me an invite through Google Plus does not work. It doesn't come up. I don't see it. I have to get, like I asked you to just earlier then, you have to actually link it to me in Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So don't
understand. It's pretty annoying. I've got, so some people that I'm lining up to have on this feed who are working on a Helldorado podcast. They promised, which would be awesome, who are watching right now. I got them on Facebook too, so that we can set up a time for them to hop on.
Still haven't played Helldorado. I've got one of the miniatures, the Augustus Raymond.
Okay.
Fuck, that is such an awesome miniature, and I've heard it's not necessarily the case with all of the Helldorado stuff, but that miniature went together so flawlessly and perfectly. The peg where the cloak joined to the back is gigantic, and you cannot fuck it up. It's amazing.
Yeah, I have that miniature. I haven't put it together yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, it's so good.
I will say that there are a few Helldorado models that are kind of fiddly. So, you know, maybe not as bad as Infinity, but like some of the say Immortal stuff, the Kung Fu stuff, that can get kind of fiddly.
Little tiny joints.
Yeah, but overall, I love them. I think they're pretty good sculpts.
That's done by Cypher, isn't it?
Yep.
Now, are they the original guys who made it?
No, Asmodee was the original publisher of that game, and they basically acquired the game from them and finished publishing it, or published the second edition of it.
I remember when that game first came out, the rulebook was only in French.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys I used to chat with in Google Plus and Event, a guy called Trash, he was right into it because
I love that guy's channel, Paint with Trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, if for any reason you can ever get on a hangout with that guy, he's the funniest dude to talk to. I swear to God, everything. It might even just be the guy's accent, but everything that comes out of that guy's mouth just makes me laugh.
No, yeah, Trash is hilarious. I wonder what happened to him, because he hasn't put out a video in like 3 years or more.
Not sure.
Yeah,
Great.
Yeah, he went through a stage like where he was doing all the Cypher stuff, just like I'm doing.
Yeah.
But he did it when it first came out.
Yeah, like brand new when they were still showing greens of it on Cool Mini or not and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's this new game that we're doing. I think he sent them an email. He's like, your miniatures are really great. How would I go about getting them? And I think they actually just like sent him a bunch.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, especially if it was Cypher at the time, they were really cool about that. Actually, Cypher is still pretty good about that. I did when they had the typhoon late last year in the Philippines. I sent Cypher a note. Hey, I wanted to do something for it, and they sent me some stuff to auction off, and I painted it up and auctioned it off, and like some of the rare stuff was really cool. I didn't expect them to really do anything for me because they didn't know me from Adam, and they sent me a bunch of stuff. So that was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So what else is going on with you? Have you been playing any War Machine lately or anything like that?
Yeah, shit tons. Well, I mean, for me, it's a shit ton. I generally get anywhere between 6 to 9 games a week, which is pretty good for me because before that, I never got any sort of gaming in.
Mm-hmm.
And to finally actually be able to play games. G'day, Viv. How are you, buddy? It was just really cool and refreshing.
That's cool.
Look at him. Look at him there pretending to fucking hobby. This cunt.
What's up, Viv?
I'm fucking painting. I'm inspired to paint them on Play It Painted. I should be painting figures. And after bagging out people about not painting their War Machine stuff, I'm fucking painting some War Machine stuff. Give me a break.
Yeah, boy. You love it.
So the recommendation for the prize is cookie butter. What do you guys think about that? First off, who here has heard of cookie butter?
I haven't, but it sounds like fun.
I haven't either.
Let me tell you, this is amazing shit. My wife impulse bought this last night. It looks exactly like peanut butter, spreads exactly like peanut butter. It even comes in like a crunchy, and it's just like liquid cookie.
That sounds amazing.
Fucking amazing, yeah. And so I'm gonna send some off to some of these folks up in Canada, and they're like, "Yeah, make that the prize, cookie butter."
So you just eat it raw. You don't bake it or cook it or anything.
No, you treat it just like peanut butter. So anything that if you put peanut butter on celery or anything like that, then this also works for that.
That sounds intense. That sounds amazing. I must find some.
Yeah, it is pretty good shit.
Such fucking stoner food, man.
Yeah, you know what? It is that. You're absolutely right. That may be the most stoner food out there since the Dorito taco. That is some serious stoner food right there.
Dorito taco.
Yeah, there's they have Taco Bell they have a taco that the shell is like a Cool Ranch Dorito.
Ah,
That's like the most stoner food ever invented right there.
nice.
Nice. So Viv, man, you've been pretty busy with the videos. You've been putting up a lot of shit, man.
Yeah, that's me done for the next couple of months. Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I'm finding some momentum, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying it.
And you got so now you've got like some miniatures behind the Knights of Dice stuff.
Yeah,
Are you?
We bought a range from a local sculptor here. It's just someone to get started, because I mean I'm still learning this whole process of spin casting and molding, and I needed something I could work with that wasn't copyright.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be a pirate. There's no point spending hours and hours and heaps of money on stuff that you can't do anything with. So I bought those two ranges from Ian here in Melbourne. There's some good figures there. I mean, he's got a very sort of recognisable style, but yeah, the aim is to keep going. We're talking to several people at the moment. I'm having some concept art drawn for a range which I'll talk about later on, and talking to various sculptors about getting our own ranges of figures sculpted up to a much higher standard of detail than what we've got at the moment in those two ranges. So it's pretty exciting.
So are you looking to like develop a game around with some miniature with some new sculpted miniatures?
It certainly will be something on the horizon. I don't know. I was going to say I think most of us at some point or other sit down and think, oh, geez, I can make a game, and so you start writing up rules and all that sort of stuff. So I've got different formats and different ideas for a game that I'd like to make, but I mean it's still very much in the early stages, and I haven't done much on it recently. So, but yes, definitely. As time goes on and as I become more proficient with the molding and casting process, and then hopefully at some stage a little bit more proficient with marketing and selling them and that sort of stuff, then yes, definitely we want to release our own games, our own range of what I call accessory miniatures. Those sort of miniatures that can be subbed into a different game or just used for role playing or whatnot. And I've also been chatting to.
Sort of like Reaper miniatures, sort of thing. Just generic, sort of can be anything, sort of minis. You mean?
Yeah, exactly. Just a bunch of generic sort of figures that you can use for whatever.
Cool.
I've also been chatting to another sculptor in Germany about ranges of collectible and painter-orientated figures in much larger scales, sort of 70mm, 75mm figures for collectors and painters, not just gamers. So, look, I want to try and do a whole bunch of stuff and see sort of what I'm good at and where we can sort of improve upon.
That's cool, man. I too have worked on a game on and off with my brother, and I think for my brother and myself, our only goal is to see like one other person play it, and then we would feel satisfied. Like we did. Whoa! One other person played that game. It's amazing, and then we would be pretty happy with our with our result.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's kind of how I feel about these miniatures at the moment. Obviously, as we go forward into the future, I'd love to be selling lots of them. But this range of figures that we've got at the moment, I'd be stoked if I just sold one miniature. That'd be amazing. And another big reason why I decided to buy that range is it was the first time that my wife actually looked at some of the figures and said, "They're cool. Are there any rules for those ones?" And I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Maybe we can play a game." That was the first time she's ever shown any interest. And I was like, "Yeah, where's my wallet? How much do I need to pay to get this?"
That's awesome. Yeah, there's a local guy here in California named, he calls himself El Atomico. And he has been doing like his own sculpting and spin casting. So he sculpts his own miniatures from scratch, and he does these like tiny baby little Kickstarters. Like he'll do a Kickstarter for like $1,000, or for I think that was his last one. The first one he did was like $100, and it was just for zombie miniatures. And I was like, you know what? If a guy is just trying to gain some experience casting stuff, I'll back his Kickstarter because I want to see what he can do. And this guy is pretty. I mean, he's pretty awesome already, but I can already see that like from his first Kickstarter to where he is now, his dwarf football team, he's gotten a lot better. And I will be very interested to see what this guy can come up with in the very near future.
I'd love to be able to sculpt.
Yeah, totally. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, I've been playing around a little bit with ZBrush and some digital sculpting, but I mean, that's intense enough as it is. But being able to sit down and just take some clay or some putty or some green stuff or something and just make something out of it would be amazing. And the skill required and the patience required is amazing. I don't have enough patience for it.
Now, what do you guys think about that? You mentioned 3D printing and 3D sculpting, and a lot of companies are moving to that now. Do you think that there will be a general move away from the traditional, white metal hand sculpted stuff in favor of that stuff, or do you think it'll stick around?
I wouldn't be surprised, but I certainly don't think it's something that's going to die out completely. I mean, you still get people who carve and chip things out of marble that could probably be done on a machine a lot easier. There'll always be people interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly the same thing, Canvas. Look, I think as time goes on, you'll see that more people will be doing it, but you'll always have people sculpting more traditionally, just like you do have stonemasons these days who still do stonework in the traditional style, and those sorts of people charge a fortune for their work. And you're getting exactly that. You're getting a true piece of craftsmanship rather than something that's just sort of I don't mean this to sound bad, but just printed off a computer. I understand there's a lot of work that goes into it, and it's a different sort of medium. But I don't think there'll be a big move away from it anytime soon. I think as the technology changes and becomes more accessible for smaller people. I mean, I've been looking at 3D printers, and sort of the base cost for a good 3D printer that I've been looking at starts at 40, 50 grand. And as they become more accessible for smaller companies to actually own and operate themselves, I think you'll see a big movement then, but not until that stage.
Yeah, maybe at some point 3D sculpting will be, I guess, more common for these companies, and I think you would see kind of like a pendulum swing with some of the customers preferring traditionally sculpted miniatures. So yeah, I don't think it would go away.
Yeah.
I personally still really do like the this hand sculpted metal stuff. But I also love the new 3D stuff. I think the stuff that they can do with 3D printing is awesome. But at the same time, I also appreciate hand sculpted stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet.
I think a part of it also relies on who's actually doing the art, whether it's 3D or it's sculpted by hand. Is it's very easy in the 3D environment to become complacent and lazy with a whole bunch of tools doing things for you. And generally, when you're sculpting digitally, you're sculpting in a much, much larger format than it's actually going to be printed in. So that once you start sculpting in all this detail and the model is actually shrunk down for printing, unless you're really diligent about what you're doing, and I'm sure a lot of 3D sculptors are, it's really easy to mess up a figure that's been designed sort of in 10 inches high and then printed 28 millimeters high, you lose a whole bunch of detail.
Mhm.
So I'm led to believe, and people I've spoken to, but I can't believe I'm painting some stuff. This is amazing.
Yeah, I was was on the verge of canceling this show at one point because I was like, I don't even know if anybody's watching or whatever. And then like a couple of guys spoke up and they're like, no, don't cancel it. We're still painting stuff. So I'm like, okay, as long as somebody's painting something and they get something out of it, I'm totally cool with that.
It's
Like
a
if
great
it's-
show. I listen all the time because it fits into our time zone.
Yeah. It's actually quite perfect for Australia. Well, if you're an unemployed cunt like me, or if you're generally if you're Viv.
Nice.
Speaking of unemployed though, I think I've got myself a job tomorrow, so I'll be able to buy toys again. Fucking hell, man! Not being able to buy minis for this amount of time has been horrendous.
I hope it goes well, mate.
Yeah.
It's actually surprising how few people want to buy your old Warhammer stuff. So I was trying to sell like my Tyranids and my Demons. My Tyranids are all painted. The scheme isn't fantastic, but they're all painted. And I'm selling them for like fully painted miniatures, probably less than a third of retail. And people are like, nah, it's all right.
Yeah, well, that's
I mean, it's 40k, I know, so who really fucking cares?
I had like the hardest time selling my 40K stuff because of that. Because I think the hard part is the sheer volume of miniatures, and trying to.
Yeah, you're not just trying to sell 5 things; you're trying to sell 500.
Mm-hmm. And it's worth a few $100 at least, but the chances of somebody wanting to pay that much, even no matter how reasonable it is pretty low. Like most of the time, people when they want to buy used miniatures, you might be able to talk them out of like say $200 for something, but
Yeah.
if you're selling like a 4,000 point army, 4,000 or 5,000 point army, and it's worth easily $500, they're going to have a hard time forking it out, even if they know that it's a good deal.
Yeah, I was lucky to get rid of a bunch of my 40k stuff, but I've still got a bunch of stuff hanging around that I know is just going to be really hard to sell, like stuff in blisters and stuff. Of just random bits and pieces now that I'm so tempted just to sort of put the camera on, heat up the furnace, and then just walk out there and drop a whole bunch of 40k stuff into the furnace and melt it down.
Yeah, you'll be getting good out of it. Turn them into fucking ingots.
Yeah.
I was actually looking to buy, what was that? Some of your Avatars of War stuff that you put on eBay.
Mm.
I was like, oh yeah, that stuff is a little more difficult for me to come by, but I didn't end up winning those auctions. So
They're great figures. I'll send you some. I've got a whole bunch of stuff sitting around. I'll pick a bunch of random stuff and send it to you.
those are they're really nice sculpts, and they're a little harder to come by. So I was looking at stuff like that. Now, sadly, the stuff that made me a lot of money selling was Blood Bowl does really well because it's whole teams, and you can sell a whole team for $100, $150. You might have only paid $35 to $50 for it. So that was selling really well, and then also Malifaux stuff sold really well for a time. Now it like the market for that's dying.
Well, that's it. I mean, you can sell a whole playable crew for $100, and for someone to buy a completely playable army of any sort of game, army, force, whatever, for like $100, it's a lot more tempting. It's like, yeah, if I play them and I really don't like them, then I'm not out that much, considering
Right.
it's for miniatures.
Yep. Yeah. That I was actually pretty happy about that because sold almost all of my Malifaux stuff and was able to make a decent profit off of that.
Oh, sorry, Octave. Steve just sent me a tell he wants to jump on.
Oh, you know what? I saw that he had messaged me too. Maybe I'm just being okay. Yeah.
The mighty man of 10.
Sure. Let's go ahead. Hopefully he has that. He'll hop on. Cool, yeah.
I think it's also easier from a Games Workshop model range to sell their specialist games because they don't make them anymore. Well, they're not heavily promoted. I think you might still be able to buy their figures, but they're outrageously expensive. There's still cult games. They'll always have a following. I mean, I've just played some Blood Bowl on the weekend. Joined a small league with some friends here in Melbourne, and had a great time. I mean, mind you, I'm not using Games Workshop figures. I use some females from a company called Shadowforge.
Oh yeah. Company. Is that the bunny team we're using?
Yeah.
Those are cool sculpts. I've been wanting to paint myself a set of those. My brother had that for a little while.
Yeah, Perth, man. There's like there's always a league going. Every year there's a league running here in Perth. It's pretty big, especially considering
it's huge over there.
Yeah, dude, it's unbelievable.
Because you have that big, massive Sandgroper Cup there.
I think, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
That's awesome.
A lot of participants. I mean, considering it's a game that's basically, well, just left to die. The shitty thing is though, if GW does a reboot for it, the first thing it's going to do is go and shut down all the other people's websites who fucking kept the thing alive for so long.
Yep. There's going to be riots in the street.
Yeah,
exactly. I'll be back in a second. I need to get a cup of water. I started painting without water.
The Blood Bowl fans are pretty rabid. At least the ones out here. You can get pretty rabid about GW trying to come back in.
You're muted, Steve. Whenever you pop into a G+, if there's more than 2 or 3 people, it auto-mutes you, mate.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Hey,
All right,
what's
can you hear
up?
me?
Yo.
What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Stealth.
Oh,
The
I'm just moving my camera here to where I can focus on what I'm doing. Or so the audience at home can see what I'm doing here. Which is drinking some San Pellegrino blood orange soda there. Oh, and I'm putting together a Retribution 1 pack. There's his Happy Dance Pete there that I just dropped like an idiot. I guess
I'm looking at Viv's beer and I'm looking at your drink. I was like, and I thought you had a beer too, because I see his beer, and then you had that can of San Pellegrino, and I'm like, oh, okay, so Tin Man has a beer too.
The crappy day I had at work, I almost bought a case of cider. In fact, I almost stopped someone to give me some Kraken.
Cracking. No.
Okay, sorry.
A little bit of Hey Ron.
I laughed preemptively then until I heard that you said Kraken.
You didn't let him finish the second syllable there.
So, you did that Anima Tactics demo for me there at Kingdom Con, and guess what I picked up?
What'd you pick up?
Anima Tactics model.
Oh, sweet. That's
I'm rebuilding my Weissenschaft.
Oh, nice, nice.
So the 2 Weissenschaft models I've had since like 2008. I'm gonna finish painting them. Also, in the prize vault there at Kingdom Con, I found the coolest thing ever. These guys right here, the Spanish Inquisition from Monty Python.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, nice. Victoria Miniatures. I haven't heard of them.
Oh,
Yep.
you need to check them out, man.
They got the guy with the aviator helmet. They have the guy going, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition. And they've got some different parts. Like this, got one guy here who could carry pillows, or he could carry like a battle standard. They got another guy that's got like, he could carry a scepter or a couple of pillows. I think I mentioned the pillows, but it's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these guys together. I'm gonna paint them up. I'm gonna put them on 30 millimeter round beveled bases there, and in future videos, I'm just gonna set them somewhere randomly on the board in the middle of the game so they can be in the shot.
Just
No
so
one
you
will-
can get comments on it. What the
Yep.
fuck are those guys doing in there?
So no one will expect it.
I thought you were going to
That's
say
fine.
you're going to use them as choir of Menoth or something.
You know what? I would totally do that. They would be in my choir.
Dude, did you just say you dropped your miniature?
The leg slipped from my hands, but I found it. I had to bust out the flashlight and go looking for it, and I found them. So I'm putting together right now. I'm putting together my Retribution demo kit, so I'm putting the Heavy Myrmidon together here. There was a company called Tectonic Craft Studios that was making base inserts out of MDF there, laser cut MDF.
Oh yeah,
so-
yeah. That's the guy from New York. That guy's awesome.
Yeah. So his stuff is going to be enhanced. My latest demo kits here. So I'm doing the Retribution one here. I've already done Convergence of Cirrus, and he had that deck plated ones there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. You can't really see it on this guy. So I will get Syntherian here. So it's got the deck plating here, and you paint that up metallic, it just looks right. So and of course you paint these guys up metallic, they just look right. So
Speaking of dropping miniatures, I've had the worst run. Every week, something gets hammered. Look at that. That's part of the Mariner. There's the rest of it. Straight onto the floor. Smash. The week after that, I'm measuring Adeptus Ran's control range. Let go of the tape measure, and the little metal hook caught his fucking staff, flung him across the room. The week after that, Lord Assassin, Tormentor Morgul, he gets dropped and his arm breaks off. And the week after that, being this weekend, I drop Arquebus John. I've glued him back together, but even the plastic base broke. This guy fucking hit it hard. But I love metal minis, but damn, when they hit the dirt, they hit pretty intense.
that's why my demo kits, I'm using the plastic kits now.
Oh yeah.
That's smart.
Because when they drop, they just bounce. And I just pick them up, put them back on the board, and go, dude!
I just had an idea for a totally unnecessary Kickstarter
Nice.
related to what you were just saying, Canvas, about your tape measure. And that little bloody hook that they have on the end of it, that's there for two reasons. One, so you can grab hold of something and slide your measure out to measure a piece of timber or something, and to stop the tape measure disappearing back inside the tape measure inside the case. So why don't we have specific wargaming tape measures that don't have that bloody hook but still have some mechanism to keep the tape measure outside of the tape measure, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Totally unnecessary, but there'd be people who'd buy it.
Yeah. If you put the right brand on it, sure, someone will buy it.
Going to be rich by tomorrow. Watch
You put
this.
Knights of Dice logo on it. The Knights of Dice tape measure. I'd buy that.
Yeah, I'd buy that for $1.
Oh yes.
So that's all it needs to cost.
Well, you might want to charge a little more than that.
We have the Eldorado has their tape measures, which have a level on it, and it makes no sense at all. It's just got the green liquid bubble level. Why would
Spirit level, yeah.
Yeah, why would you ever need that for a wargaming?
I don't know,
Tape
man, but that's
is
what,
It's just they
That's
bought a whole bunch cheap from China and rebranded
Right. It was just repurposed. You can tell they were like they probably had a buyer that dropped out, and they're like, "Hey Kai, do you want to buy this?" And he's like, "Sure."
them.
I love those though. Those are great. I love the tape measures because they look like they're thin. They're like they're almost like a business card size. They work out great, but they've got a fucking level on them, and I don't understand that at all.
Now, if they had a laser sight, that'd be perfect because line of sight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
Someone's
I don't mean to sound bad, but that was probably the specifications that they sent to the manufacturer, and somewhere it got lost in translation in China, and they sent back tape measures with the spirit level on it.
I thought, you know what, this will be cheaper.
Yeah. What do you think
I
about
believe
this?
that story.
It's a good idea.
Got to make sure the table we're playing on is level, because that might favor the other guy's dice.
Exactly. I was just going to say it would help to sort of alleviate cocked dice and all that sort of stuff. Oh, that piece of scenery is not level. Re-level that piece of cardboard under that corner, please.
Judge, this table's not level. You should make it so. See, that's why you chose that side of the board, huh? But it's like a 0.5%.
Man, non-level tables actually can be pretty annoying. Not so much the table itself, but every time I used to play on those crappy GW Realm of Battle boards, they've got those like hills in each corner. The actual slope.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing fucking stands on those, man. Everything slides down.
And it's like the worst place to put a hill, too. It's like the
geez.
back corner of the... You have the choice of either putting them all in the back corners or making one stupid plateau in the middle of the board.
Yeah.
And neither option is very good. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
I genuinely love bitching about anything that's Games Workshop related.
Let's see if our viewers are now bored to tears with our current topic of conversation, or
They tuned in to see my hands holding pieces together as they glue.
there you go.
That's what they came here for.
Or we could go back to talking about cookie butter, which is
That stuff's good. That stuff is good.
So you've had it. You've had.
Oh
cookie
yeah, they sell that at Trader Joe's.
Yep. So that's what.
Not the one in San Diego, because that Trader Joe's in San Diego didn't have anything.
Yeah, you were complaining about that Kingdom Con, that their Trader Joe's was not up to spec.
I bought a case of cider. I said, you know what could go with the cider? Some black currant. That way my cider lasts longer. And I like cider and currant, or cider and black. And they didn't have any black currant. And
No.
when I approached someone about it, they looked at me as if they were sick and tired of people asking for it.
Wow.
And then I went through their freezer section and realized they have no ice cream.
You got like the worst San Diego stories I've ever heard. I don't understand. I normally, like, my San Diego stories normally have to do with like hookers and midgets and stuff. And then yours are like people being mean.
Black currant.
So it's just like, because I like black currant. It's like pomegranate juice, only not as tart.
Yeah, I like black currant.
And it's good in cider. So and I was like, first of all, I was thinking, oh, maybe we'll get some pomegranate juice. I said, nah, it won't be the same.
So what happened? Actually, you guys went back, right? And you played a game with my brother. I saw the bat rep for that.
Yep, that was a fun game there. We're doing some extra stuff too because we're gonna kind of spoof a couple of establishment shows, but we recorded some stuff after the game, and I guess the footage got all corrupted. At least the battle report was saved. The SoCal SmackDown in 2012
Mm-hmm.
recorded an entire battle report, and so much of it was corrupted that I basically didn't have a battle report.
That sucks.
I hate that. When that
So
happens.
that made me a sad panda.
Yeah, that's understandable. And then you were out of there like Sunday early.
I left around Sunday around 4 or 5
Oh,
because I
not
wanted to miss the LA traffic.
okay.
So when I hit Carlsbad, that was really stiff, and I was like, man, it's gonna suck if LA's like this too. Just rolled on through LA, no problems. Everybody was going in the same direction. Wasn't a lot of merging traffic or anything like that.
That's cool.
Then I hit the Grapevine. No traffic in the Grapevine, but the rental car I had, the dashboard light up was so bright, it was messing with my night vision.
Huh.
So it was literally painful to look at the dashboard. And because I used to be a commercial driver, it's always dashboard, mirrors, dashboard, mirrors, and then kind of scan everything for hazards. That's just how I drive now. So
Yeah.
I'm doing that, and it's just like, okay, mirrors, scan, dashboard, readjust my eyes to everything. That was a whole trip through the Grapevine. And I was like, man, I should have went home earlier, but I wanted to avoid that LA traffic.
Yeah, it probably would have been worse if you had left any earlier. That's cool.
Man, we just don't really get lots of cons over here in Australia. Well, certainly not over here in Perth. I don't know about, you probably get a lot more over east, Viv.
No,
Don't know
I was just about to say exactly the same thing, Canvas. That we don't get all these sort of events and stuff. Maybe twice a year or maybe 3 times a year we get an event where sort of you can call it an event rather than just a bunch of dudes getting together and rolling dice. Yeah, not enough. We just don't have the population for it, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, we used to get, I think we still do get, it's like a hobby/anime expo. So if you want to go watch a couple of sweaty neckbeards dressed like Tuxedo Mask, then, you know, that's the thing for you, man. You're set. Actually, no, I'll tell you, there actually was some pretty good stuff. Christopher Lloyd was there a while back, because it was like a, sort of a slash sci-fi thing. I guess it was, the whole, Doc Brown sort of thing. And,
Sure.
A guy that my wife works with, he'd ordered a pair of there was a limited run of the self-lacing shoes from Back to the Future 2.
Mm-hmm.
He ordered a pair. They were like super expensive, couple hundred, $700 or something ridiculous. I don't know that they actually worked, but they were perfect replicas, and he got them signed by Christopher Lloyd, which I thought that's pretty badass.
That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
There's a
that's
little
true.
bit of comics, little bit of. I think there's like they show previews of anime coming up, and there's a bit of cosplay, a little bit of LARP, and a scant amount of board games and tabletop. So I don't really bother going.
Yeah, we did just have the OzCon and Comic Con when PAX came to Melbourne last year, which was amazing. Was it last year or
we
earlier
were
this
talking
year?
about that. Ross and I were talking about PAX Australia.
Yeah, it was amazing. I didn't go, unfortunately, but I've heard really good stuff about it.
Yeah, it's kind of, if they bring that back, it's kind of on my list of stuff that I want to go to. Might have to wait till my kid is 15 or 18 or when can we kick him out? Well, like one of those years. And then I can go. But yeah. Or we could go visit Canvas because like I was saying, she has family in Perth. So
Pass
Oh,
on
if you-
the condolences.
If you've absolutely ever wanted to do nothing, this is the best place to do it.
You sure about that? Because I'm from Bakersfield.
yeah, there's a lot of nothing to do in Bakersfield. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We might be able to give you a run for your money. Well, I suppose there's I'm in Australia, so there's staying alive you've got to contend with.
True, the wildlife here is not all out to kill us. You're just out to raid our trash cans and say what's up. You always go to the backyard, something's in your trash can, and it's just like, all right, what's up?
Yeah, so you go to Perth and there'll be Canvas in your trash can. Or some other dude out there looking for food.
I'll be wrapped in tinfoil pretending to be his trash can.
The
motherfucker.
That's at Kingdom Con. Somebody, a raccoon tried to steal somebody's beer, and they took a picture of it.
Oh yeah.
And they left the comment saying, if you just asked, I would have poured him a cup.
Yeah.
Because if a raccoon walked up to you and asked for some of what you were drinking, when you pour him a cup,
How could you say no?
I would. That's
I say, here you go, little buddy.
that's the Kingdom Con vibe. Is yeah, everybody's passing something around up there, so
I was not prepared for that.
which is a very cool thing to have at a gaming con.
If
Yeah,
I had known,
I
would've-
apologize if I spilled any sake on you that night when I was there.
somebody spilled something down my backpack
Uh-oh.
because my Dystopian Wars rulebook and my Warlands rulebook were water damaged.
Oh, no.
I can still read it, but it's like you can't turn the pages without
It doesn't-
finding the pages.
That thing's fucking hard to understand anyway.
Yeah, Spartan does not know how to write a rulebook. I'm just saying.
No.
Have they finished one yet?
Yeah, man. Dystopian Wars, that's the 3rd edition of that is coming out pretty soon.
Okay.
And they apparently addressed a lot of the issues that tend to slow a game down a little bit.
I want to see a full rulebook for Dystopian Legions, because the minis for that game are so fucking cool. But the rules are not finished.
Yeah, they're
Their big thing, too, is that whenever people complain on the forums, they kind of cave in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot like Mark 1 War Machine, where it's like every time you turn around, the rules are changing.
That's a big problem. Is you can't listen to people, unfortunately. It might sound bad, but
Yeah.
otherwise you get too many wankers jumping up and down saying, "No, you shouldn't have a 5 on a dice," and sort of shit doesn't happen. Especially for smaller companies that are like, "Oh crap, one dude out of 1 billion complained."
and it
What do we do?
worrying that it's going
That
to
happened
affect.
on the Privateer Press forums a few years ago. Matt Wilson got on and just quoted Bill Cosby. He said, "Hey, we don't know what the formula for success is, but we know the formula for failure is trying to listen to everybody."
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit.
Mind you, though, I really like what they did with the Mark II rulebook. Wasn't that like play tested by the general public for a long time before it got finalized?
Mark
I thought
II
that-
test.
I thought that was cool. That was really, really clever.
And I'm starting to hear rumors about Mark III.
Not too soon, I hope.
Yeah, I mean Mark II's really good. But one
Mark
of the
II's
rumors,
been out since, what, 2010?
yeah, we field tested it in 2009, and then it became official in 2010.
Okay.
And rumor I'm hearing is that the Convergence of Cirrus, that's going to be a test run.
Yeah, I heard
for
the
Mark
same
III.
thing with the managing of focus.
That pretty much every faction they're going to retool it to where they're more unique, and each faction has some unique thing that it does that the rest doesn't.
Wasn't it also an issue of trying to rebalance War Machine with Hordes in the fact that people were saying that Hordes is just more powerful with the way Fury works?
Heard some stuff about that. The rumors I'm hearing is that like the field marshal ability is going to be more common. Like every warcaster will have some kind of field marshal ability,
Okay.
and that there's going to be more of an emphasis on making the factions more unique.
Right.
Not as much as like them all having their own spells or anything like that, but like faction specific abilities that you would see in one faction but not in another.
Yeah, right.
And then mercenaries will come along and kind of will and kick that away. Which is how it should be. Somebody
Alright.
drop something?
I don't know.
Nah, that was me crunching a paint pot I haven't used for ages, and I opened it up and then closed the cap, and there was so much dried paint in there, it crunched out everywhere.
Speaking of crunch, I gotta find my clippers.
The last Last comment, my cat is drinking my drinking water. Thanks, Jill. Okay.
I've drunk my paint water once. I've also drunk out of a can that I put about 6 cigarettes out in. Had about 4 hours worth of ash in it.
Oh, wow.
I've taken a sip of my rinse water once because I have my rinse water and my coffee right next to it. No, I was drinking tea. I had my rinse water and my tea right next to each other, and I was using an old coffee mug to rinse as my rinse cup.
Ooh.
So the balance was right. I was like, well, this cooled down fast.
Oh, yeah.
That was something.
Yeah.
Does that explain other poor choices you made in your life?
Well, that was one of those. I'm glad I wasn't painting in public, because no one was there to laugh at me when it happened. Because at one of my old game stores, we had a guy who's still known for being the guy that glued a Space Marine Land Raider. I'm not Land Raider, but one of the land speeders, little hover cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Glued one to his lips because he was doing it together, went to blow on it, and they're like, "You hold that kind of close." Ended up gluing it to his lips.
Nice.
Awesome. Do you have pics of that? We need to post that
It was
somewhere.
before my time, because if I was around, I would have gotten a picture of that.
That's pretty awesome.
But they said he just moved his hands away and it was stuck to his face, and for like a minute he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, you kind of freak out a little bit. You wouldn't exactly want to pull that straight off your face.
Oh, no.
Wondering how much lip are you going to lose when you yank that away?
Yeah. Well, where I used to work, we used to have to put stickers on these big metal cages, and so rather than going back and forth, you just get a whole bunch of these big square stickers about the size of a CD case, and you just stick them to your stomach or, to your shoulder, so when you got there, you could just peel a whole bunch off and plonk them on the cages. So one guy, Wayno, he had one on his bottom lip. He gets there and he just yanks it off, and he rips this triangle lip of skin off his lip. It was so awful. It was about the size of a fucking Space Marine's head. A triangle of skin off his lip, and it just bled and bled. He's like, oh, you fucking... I mean, it was funny and everything, but yeah.
That's terrible.
It's funny because it did happen to me, I guess.
You've glued something to your lips before?
Yeah. I'm surprised I haven't had that many glue mishaps. But, yeah.
Yeah, normally I'll glue my finger to the piece I was just trying to glue to the model, and I was holding it there for like 10 minutes, and it finally stuck, and I'll take my hand away and it'll rip the bastard off.
Yeah, done that.
Or Viv, have you ever had a drag on your cigarette and you go to take it out of your mouth but it sticks to your lip, and then your fingers slide down and you catch it right on the burning bit?
Yeah.
Oh, I've done that. Yeah.
It's terrible. Rip your lip and then burn your hand. It's such an enjoyable activity. I'll have another one.
You look really cool doing it too.
It happened just the other day, actually.
I quit smoking last year, and I still love hanging out with smokers though. My brother still smokes, so I'll go out there when he's smoking and just kind of inhale it.
I've got no problem with it, as long as I'm not in an enclosed room with another smoker, or if I'm not trying to eat. Other than that, I don't mind if people smoke around me. It's fine.
Yeah, when I was smoking, I used to hate the smell of smoke, and now that I'm not smoking, I love the smell of smoking. So I'm like the creepy guy now that hangs, the non-smoker that hangs out with people smoking, like just to hang out. I was doing that at Kingdom Con. I'm like, so what are you playing? And they thought I was weird, and they'd go away. Did not work so well.
Everything all right there? Oh, okay. That's what we're doing.
Just Virby's drinking.
Yeah, no, I've got a ridiculous
He's
amount
gonna
of
put
space.
the armor back on. He's gonna put the chainmail back on. Awesome.
Yeah, maybe.
How did your shields go, man? Those are they heater shields or kite shields?
Most of them were heaters. I've got to build a kite shield for someone shortly. Well, that might be the same shield I was talking to you about before, Candace.
The one you were getting, you were bending it.
No.
So Viv, do you for the shields and stuff? Do you get involved in any of those? I don't even know what they're called, like the medieval combat stuff.
No. I used to. There's. Hang on, let me get rid of this crap. There's different types of groups. There's LARPing groups who get dressed up and pretend they're fucking elves and run around and fire lightning balls at each other. And then there's lightning bolt. And then historical reenactors and groups like the SCA and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was involved with a group here in Melbourne called Swordcraft for a while, but that was a couple of years ago when it was just a small group and it was sort of closer. Now that group's grown massive and they get like 200 people on a Friday night in one of the ovals near town and fucking run around and have these huge battles and stuff. And I just don't enjoy it that much anymore.
They had that at Kingdom Con. Ross is into like SEA stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go outside, like in between your games, you can go out and watch these guys like beat the shit out of each other in full armor.
I mostly saw them beating the shit out of a dummy.
Yeah, it was a lot of like practice stuff out there. Those guys go to Comic-Con too, and they're normally set up like right outside where we're set up, so we get to watch them do that all day long. And then at night, it's pretty hilarious. They'll break out. They have like what is that group from New York called? The New York Jedi or whatever. And they have the lightsaber fights that happen at night. It's kind of cool to watch. I thought that was a cool little addition to the gaming con, which is equally about beer and gaming.
So I heard some fights broke out during Drunk Quest.
Did they?
That sounds like the perfect place for fights to break out.
So there was the Drunk Quest tournament, and I heard some fights broke out, and security had to rush. I know, literally, I went to bed, and I could hear people cussing each other out outside my hotel door as I'm brushing my teeth. In fact, when I got home, I posted a link on Facebook, and I said, "This is what was going on outside my hotel room," and I put a link to the clip from The Whitest Kids You Know, where it was what really happened to Abe Lincoln. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but it was like Abe Lincoln in the theater acting all ghetto, going, "Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. You have fucked up now." Right? Going back and forth, John Wilkes Booth being all like, "Mr. President, will you please be quiet?" Back and forth. That's basically what it sounded like going on outside of my hotel room. If you haven't seen that before, you definitely would have find it. Just search for it on YouTube. Put "What Really Happened to Abe Lincoln." It is hilarious.
I think Cameron showed that to me before.
Yeah, they actually use They use a sound clip of that whenever they have Dice Rage in one of their videos.
Mm-hmm.
And it just be a clip of Abe Lincoln going, "Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. You have fucked up now."
First time I've ever heard you swear.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been waiting for the day.
Exclusive for this show. It's exclusive.
Here, 10-Man XL cuss.
Yes.
By quoting
the show has boasts no filters and no actual coherence.
But yeah, it's that's basically what was going on. And then the next morning, I show up in the gaming hall, and I'm talking to Minoth John and a couple other guys, and they're like, "Yeah, some fights broke out. They found the condom here in the gaming hall."
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, "Wait, they kicked us out." Because I was getting in pickup games about 2 in the morning, and they kicked us all out. So I was thinking, they must have kicked a bunch of us out, then had an after party in there.
Yeah, maybe they invited the strippers up, because there's got to be a strip joint nearby. Because every time I go to that Denny's that I sent you the wrong way to,
Oh yeah.
every time I go to that Denny's, there's like strippers in that Denny's.
Well, there's a place here in Bakersfield. It's sort of a 24-hour diner, greasy spoon kind of place, former truck stop, and it's next to a strip joint. So one day, a friend of mine who was had a band, after the gig we went and got some food because we were in the mood for eating at like 2 in the morning. 2 of the nastiest looking transvestites I'd ever seen were there
Nice.
at the counter. And they were there, and me and my friends were just trying to avert our eyes and not look because they were just like nasty looking. And
So you have tranny Denny's.
right, it was a greasy spoon 24-hour diner that's independent. It's called I think it's called Cindy's. No, it's not Cindy's. It's I'm drawing a complete blank here. But anyone from Bakersfield knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know, man.
After they leave, I overhear one of the waitresses say, "Oh yeah, they dance over at Teaser Pleasers." Me and my friends busted up laughing. And ever since, whenever we joke around about going to a strip joint, it's like, "Hey, we go to Teaser Pleaser? Buy you a lap dance?"
Pleasers.
He's like, "I'll buy
Nice.
you a lap dance."
Could have been the greatest night of your life. That's all I'm saying.
Come on, man, it's all me.
Maybe those are like the discount dances you get.
Yeah, it's a dollar dance right there.
Yeah.
They were probably the fucking bouncers.
No, they didn't have any muscle. If they had some muscle to them, I'd been like, "Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense." And of course, they're so nasty looking. I guess if they were bouncers and they approached you, you'd just throw your hands up and say, "No, we're cool. I'm leaving.
Yep. So
I don't want no trouble." Ew, I don't want them to put their nasty hands on me. Ew. I just left, yeah. Yeah, let's see here. Gorilla Glue.
Ooh. So I guess we haven't had very many comments recently, so I guess people are just
They're like, "Oh, 10-man XL cousin."
they've zoned out.
Years.
Yeah. Which is
I gotta start making videos again because running into fans at Kingdom Con, being like, "Man," I tell people I like your show, and people are like, "Oh, 10-man, he don't even make videos anymore." And I was like, "All right, I gotta start making videos again." He's like, "I know you got a legit full-time job, but man, it'd be good if you made some videos again." So.
I mean, sometimes it's just not in you sometimes to do it. And I mean, for me, I go through phases where I want to make about 10 or 12 in the space of a week, and then other times it'll be 3 weeks before I could even bear to think about doing it. I don't know why.
Mhm.
Well, to me, it's like an economic thing. It's like when I'm putting models together, what am I not doing? Not editing. When I'm painting something, what am I not doing? I'm not editing.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I have just so much footage of shit that I just need to and I don't ever end up editing it. I just put like a logo in front of it and then put it up. Like, meh, that's how it goes. Sure.
Man,
Yeah,
I
man.
wish I was still doing that. I was like, nah, I wanna, this is my hobby. I wanna improve I want to improve upon things the way I do with my painting and everything else.
Do you post just on Blip, or do you still do videos for YouTube?
I'm just on Blip now. For YouTube, I do the Google Hangout thing for Dice Rage Live.
Okay.
But it's just, Blip's a lot easier for me, and I like it a lot better. I like the Blip people better. When I had a technical issue with Blip, they worked with me, and I interacted with a human being.
Yeah.
I've had issues with my YouTube channel in the past that you guys have probably heard me complain about ad nauseum. I can never interact with a human being on the matter. And that makes all the difference in the world.
But with Blip, you kind of need to have been with them from the start, don't you? Or be able to prove that you can generate an audience, like if you were to start a channel now.
If I tried to start a channel now, I probably wouldn't get in. But I know Makers Incorporated or had reviewed my show and sent me a message saying that they feel my show was a high quality and original show, and that if I ever needed any love from them, to just give them a call. So.
Yeah, nice.
That's cool.
The challenge will be getting Blog and Beat Freak on there, because that's where they want to go when they come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch those guys make the stupid faces at the camera again. I don't feel like my YouTube experience is complete without that. But I'll watch them on Blip. If they head over to Blip. Sweet.
Yeah, that wasn't me sending you messages in case you're wondering.
No, that's not yours. That shit is funny, but then the stuff that you send me is funny, but then I think in the back of my head, like, how long has he been saving that image?
I quickly troll Google Google Images or something.
And then it makes no sense. Like I'm in the middle of explaining something, and then it'll just show up on my screen. And I'll just be laughing for no reason.
Yeah, I should probably stop that.
And my four viewers are like, "What the fuck is going on?" And that's it's.
Hey, I completely botched this. Yay. Yeah, so I decided to reposition the arms there, because they don't tell you exactly how to position the arms on these things, and then I put the shoulder pads on, and it's like, well, it's not gluing, right? There's no contact for the glue.
Which one is it, the Manticore?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bastard.
Thought I would try to be clever here, and then I got this other one here, and it fits the way it's supposed to, kinda, but the shoulder pad rides really low on the model.
Yeah,
there.
dude, I had a lot of trouble lining those up so that they actually looked like they were being worn rather than
just kind of there, yeah.
Yeah, there's no real like ball socket joint where it fits in. It's just you put it here, kind of. You'll figure it out.
We have faith in your abilities to put our models together.
Oh, I was gonna ask. Hey, Viv, you still there, man?
Yep.
Hey, are you still brewing as well?
I haven't brewed anything for ages. I was just saying to Kim earlier, I've got to brew some cider and get some beer on.
Oh, nice.
No, I haven't done anything for ages. There was a big period where there wasn't a lot of space here in the workshop to do much, because we moved out of our house because we're rebuilding our house, so all of that stuff was here. And then my dad closed one of his businesses in town, so all of his shit from that office was here. And then I had those bloody big boxes of polystyrene and 4 gaming tables set up. And I mean, I haven't played a game in months, and I had 4 gaming tables set up. And there was just shit everywhere. I couldn't move around. So all the space that I had for brewing and fermenting was sort of taken up by storage.
Oh, I see.
But everything's sort of slowly coming together now. All that stuff from Dad's office is gone, and we've got some space back now. It's sort of amazing. It's one of those things where if you've got space, then everyone sort of thinks that they can just put stuff there.
Yeah. It would be cool. I was thinking, what if you did your own, like, and I don't know if you could, what kind of crowd you could get for it, but if you did like a VivCon where you had your gaming stuff set up and you had your beers, that would be fucking great, man.
Yeah, it was good for a time when we used to get guys down on Wednesday nights and play games and have some beer and stuff. And I mean, a few guys would rock up, but I don't know. There's so much work in organising something like that. It's I don't know.
The slogan can be "Come for the beer, stay for the beer."
Yeah.
Here, stay for the beer.
I look at that space and I'm like, oh man. First of all, if you had that kind of space in California, you'd be a multimillionaire of some sort, because that's how much it would cost just to own more than 10 square feet out here. But yeah, then you could do, but there's so many people here that if you decided to throw something like that, you would easily, get a couple hundred people just to show up. Even if you charged, like, say, $10 a head to show up and you threw in a beer for them, people would show up in game. Pretty awesome.
See, that's it. You guys have got the numbers there. Like I said earlier, we just don't have the population here. I could probably, with a bit of stuffing around and some bit of promoting, get maybe 20 dudes down here, 30 guys. But it's difficult. I mean, there are a lot of small events that happen sort of every other weekend, so because it's such a niche market and there's not a lot of people, and there's always something going on pretty much on every weekend at some club or one of the stores or something, that trying to organise something that doesn't clash with other events is a bit hard.
Do they have so is it more of like a gaming club scene where you have clubs that look at renting out halls or anything like that for their events, or?
Yeah, that's predominantly how most of the gaming happens here is at clubs. We don't have a lot of stores, certainly here in Melbourne anymore, anyway, where you can go and they have like lots of gaming space. I mean, the bunker, when I had the bunker, that was one of the only places that had a lot of space for hanging out and playing games and chill out on an Xbox or something like that. But we don't have those. Realm of Legends was another big store here in Melbourne that closed a year after I closed the bunker. And so it's most of the gaming is done at clubs here. I think it's the opposite there for you guys. You have stores that you guys go and game at, right?
Yeah, it's almost all stores. There are a couple places, a few remote places that are looking to get gaming going that don't have stores, and so they try to throw, like, I was in contact with one guy that's just throwing a not a Boss Monster, a King of Tokyo tournament in a pizza shop. And I was like, oh, cool, you have a pizza shop that's also a gaming store? And he's like, nah, it's just a pizza shop. We just want to...
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Now, I was in one place in Seattle called it's called Card Kingdom, and it's a gaming store, and it has it's basically the next suite. The door to the next suite is knocked down, so there's no physical door, but it's a pub, and you're allowed to, whatever games that you're playing in the store, you're allowed to take next door with you to the pub, and you can play those. You can play board games or whatever in the pub, which was pretty awesome. So
That's cool.
We ended up, playing a few games in the store, and then as soon as the pub opened up in the evening, we just went across to the pub.
Did they do a nice counter meal?
I'm sorry?
Did they do a good counter meal? Did you get, was it the kind of pub that serves food as well?
Yeah, they serve food. They had these like crazy deep fried grilled cheese things that I was hooked on. But yeah, and they're looking at, there's a place in LA that's like it's like a steampunk pub that's looking to do the same thing. So it's a pub and it's basically steampunk themed, and they're looking to bring some gaming in over there. So that sounds interesting. Let me try that out.
Okay, so if this Myrmidon Warjack gets stuffed to my lips, we'll have that
We'll take a
I've got
picture of
moments
that.
prosperity here. People
You
can
can do a
screen cap
how-to.
it. People can screen cap it, and they can meme it, put it up on. I know Blog would get that up on Quick Meme or Meme Generator. Post that on Listen While You Play. Clever captions.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
10 Man XL gluing an elf jack to his face. Or 10 Man XL takes elf jack to the face.
That's
What do you think of that fucking resin plastic, man? Because I hate this shit.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Yeah, it's the first kits were on point, but lately they've been slacking. Like let me show you something here. I'm gonna dig him out. Alright, I showed you Syntherian earlier, but I didn't give you guys any detailed look at it. So both of his arms arms are supposed to be up here. This one is suspiciously pointed down because the piece here is all melted and destroyed. I don't know if you can see that, but I had to dip him in some hot water and then use a key here to try to work out some grooves so that I can glue his bits in there. But it looks so terrible, looks so destroyed that I got it turned down so people don't see that when they look at the gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just they were on point with that stuff when they first came out with it. You know, about back in 2009. And
Yeah.
lately, they just as the kits keep coming out, they seem to be slacking more.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I hate the material. I don't like it.
And I find myself having to pin it. And I'm like, why am I pinning a plastic model?
Yeah.
Huh.
Not supposed to work that way.
Yeah.
I hear the stuff they use on the Colossals is like an actual proper resin, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. It's the if you want to sand it, better get yourself a dust mask resin. Oh man, this guy's shoulders are all jacked up.
And Privateer Press should get Spartan to do all their resin casting and just do all their stuff in resin, because Spartan have got resin down to an absolute art form.
Oh yeah.
Their resin kits are fantastic.
Except, let's see here. One of my airships, because I'm looking at him. Yeah, one of my airships, I guess it got a bubble right there.
Yeah.
So when I do eventually get off my lazy butt and paint this guy, I'm going to get something, like some cotton or something, and have it make it look like it took damage there. Because, you know, have the black smoke coming from that like they took a hit there. Because, oh man, that's covered in dust. That's how long I've had those guys. Because that kit came destroyed, and you know my go-to guy, the game store that I go to to order stuff, he looked at it. He's like, "Well, I could get you another one." I said, "That's fine. I'll grab some cotton or that material that they put inside pillows, and
Yeah.
I'll hit it with some black ink and just make it look like it took damage."
I've bought quite a few bits and pieces from them. I've never had any, like, maybe the slight little bubble here and there, but it's usually so tiny that it's the kind of bubble that you could actually forgive slipping past quality control, because, you know, you only sort of found it by accident yourself. Well, for me anyway. But the only thing I could ever say that I didn't like was just a little bit of flashing around the bases of, like, say, these little the little tiny flyer tokens. There might just be a little bit of flashing around the bottom, but I mean, you just run a sharp blade across it and it's gone.
Oh yeah.
I think they must change their molds quite regularly, because as far as I know, especially if you're using rubber molds, the resin is pretty destructive on them. From what I hear.
Alright. almost done here with this Lilith model. It's looking really bright, Anima Tactics style model.
That a Eldorado figure or a?
This is an Anima model.
All right.
Painting for Yu Yao, who requested this color scheme.
Well, next year Yu Yao can bring his stuff because Yu Yao is apparently the night owl that does the overnight shift on Friday nights at Kingdom Con. So
Yep.
we'll totally get a
That guy does
game
not
at like
sleep,
3 in the morning.
apparently.
I was gonna pull a late nighter on Saturday night there at the con, and then Kevin Clark and a few others kicked a bunch of us out. They closed the main gaming room. They pretty much closed it out, so I didn't know what was going on. Then the next morning I heard, fights broke out. But literally there was a Midnight Madness War Machine tournament going on at the same time. The format was called Who's the Boss, where essentially you make the worst list you could possibly can, and then each round you make your opponent play that list against you. That's the format. They could only play 2 rounds of the tournament.
Oh, because of Drunk Quest?
Yeah, because everyone got kicked out of the gaming hall, so there was confusion of like, do we get to finish playing?
When did that happen? Was it like 2 in the morning, or?
Yeah, it was like pretty close to 2 in the morning. So I get back to my room. I had cider. A lot of people were sharing drinks with me. One of your buddies, Roy, had Angry Orchard Iceman, and he shared some of that with me, and I was like, wow, this is good, and I got to track it down. So far, I haven't been able to track down a bottle here in Bakersfield, but people like to drink up here in Bakersfield, so eventually I will find a bottle. And some ale that he had, that the hops had this like metallic gold tinge to it.
Yeah, Rory's into some weird. He knows quite a bit about beer, apparently. So he can pick a beer for you, which is cool.
But yeah, I was like, had a really crappy day at work, and I got home, and so I was on my way home, swung by the mall, and I bought some like Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and I said to myself, the cider is like right over there. I can just buy myself a case, because I don't work tomorrow. So, but then I remembered I had to get up early to have my car worked on, so I was like, all right, well, never mind. Okay, so his shoulder pads didn't turn out as derpy as I was afraid. Good there. Now, the Scary Beard production guys there that were at Kingdom Con.
Oh, Adam. Yeah.
They sell these really awesome crates.
Mm-hmm.
So when they open their store back up, I am going to order like $50 worth of these things from them. These things are awesome.
Yeah, I bought every single column he made at Kingdom Con.
I got his like Nurgle walls here, even though they looked like they would work for War Machine when I saw them at the con. Then I looked at them again and went, these don't really work, but it's terrain.
Let's have a look.
All right, let's see here. He had them painted up all orky there at the con, but here they are. Sort of
Oh, dude, I reckon those would work. I mean, it's all about the big pipes and...
Yeah. Yeah, it's steampunky enough. I know there's a lot of Nurgle rot on them, but then it's like, I play mercenaries, I play pirates. They're totally going to be barnacles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or you could just put if you know anyone who plays Crix, just if they've got spare bits, you just look like a couple of corrosive Crix jacks blew up, or bloat thrall blew up or something.
Yeah, that's true. Bloaty bile. Bloaty bile, definitely. Impudent Mortal. They do MDF terrain. They've got these really cool billboards or you can have your own custom text, and even have like your own logos and artwork. So one thing I plan on getting a couple of them. One's going to say "Peace is our profession," so I could put that on a table as a reference to, of course, Dr. Strangelove. And the other one, I don't know what I'm going to do with, but the other one I'm thinking about putting the Steam Power TV logo on, just for ego reasons.
That'd be cool, actually. Just to see that on the table.
I think they're made where you print out your own artwork and put stuff on them, but one to have custom text. But I want to do "Peace is our profession" from Dr. Strangelove, and then have another one that has something else written on it. Probably a billboard for Steam Power TV.
Litco does something similar with their acrylic stuff, don't they? You can actually get your own text put on it. Like for their measuring widgets and stuff like that, I think they used to do that.
Who does that?
Was it Litco?
Litco. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they used to offer something like that. If you wanted something, because all their stuff's laser cut, and if you wanted something like laser engraved on your little widgets or measuring doohickeys or whatnot, then you could choose the text and the font and whatever you wanted on there.
Yeah, they still do that. One of my friends just got a set of templates made with his name on them.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That way I could do bat reps and my measuring stick would have "Dread sucks," and he'd see it every time I
Yeah,
That's pretty
I know
funny.
somebody would probably get some "Hey Ron" written on his. Say, "Hey Ron."
Nice. Alright. Almost done here. And then I think I'm going to call it here pretty soon, gentlemen. Getting to be about that time.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys hopping on. It's cool. And yeah, I hope that I can get my little contest going here so, we can find out about some of these cool undiscovered channels, at least from my perspective, because you find some out there and they're really good, and my worry is some of the guys, if they don't feel like people are watching them, they'll close their channel too early, and it'd be great to try to get some more of these channels going.
Yeah, I'd love to find some more channels that have a lot more sort of skirmish content on them. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to find one that will do a great amount of games as well. Usually, and quite understandably, most of them are usually dedicated to one, maybe two systems at the most.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be great to find one that just covered everything. I mean, in sort of extensive detail. I mean, because you've got British Legion, that guy, he does everything. If there's something to do, he's pretty much tried it or he painted something for it. There's a couple other guys out there like that. Just want to play all the games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the idea behind the contest. So hopefully,
If I were you, I'd dedicate at least a video to that, just a quick little video, rather than sort of leave it to just this.
yes,
I mean,
right. This is my way of letting a few people in early before I've formally announced it. So it's like if you actually sat through this 2 hours of whatever the hell we were talking about, you could actually enter the contest from.
or something, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll call it an Easter egg. So, cool. All right. Well, yeah. Looks like Lilith here is just about done. Well, Bright, I'll take a picture of her and post it. And
Well,
so,
while we were
That's pretty
talking-
amazing. I managed to paint a couple of straps and some belts whilst we've been talking.
Nice.
Yeah, and I even managed to do the little parts of the barrel black. That's pretty incredible.
Awesome. Paint that little barricade there. That's about it. You have to recognise all that stuff, Viv. You know what that is.
What stuff?
That's pretty awesome.
On my screen there, you know what
Oh
that's from.
yeah. Yeah, they're all Herstart spells.
Yeah, that whole bunch of the. Because I cast up the I think it was the dungeon like loot set, where it's just all fucking. I cast up a bunch of them just for a certain piece, and I've always had these bits sitting around. And I thought, oh, what the fuck? Just make some nice barricades, crates, and stuff.
Perfect.
Cool. All right. I'm going to load comments here one more time just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Sure we didn't. Yep. I think we are good to go. All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for hopping on. Thanks, folks, for watching.
Good hanging out and good being able to talk to Viv and Richard here in real time.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I'm a little bit starstruck. I've been watching Tin Man videos since I was ever first interested in War Machine. It's finally good to actually be able to chat.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, appreciate it.
And from my man Lee, boobs.
That's the way.
All right, take it easy, guys.
See you guys.
Hey, bud.